But on that cold, windy night, even with every reason to cry and complain, Bob wanted his daughter to somehow understand that there was hope, and that being different didn't mean you had to be ashamed. Most of all, he wanted her to know she was loved. Drawing from his own life experiences, the copywriter made up a story about a reindeer with a large, bright red nose, and as little Barbara listened, May described in story form not only the pain felt by those who are different, but also the joy that can be found when someone discovers his special place in the world. The tale was a big hit with Barbara, and thereafter she demanded that her father tell it to her each night. With every new telling, the plot grew more elaborate, and the reindeer, Rudolph, became less a fictional character and more a member of the May family. Unable to purchase a gift for Barbara that Christmas, Bob decided to carefully craft his story about Rudolph into a homemade book, drawing on his own abilities as an artist for the pictures. Many evenings after his wife and daughter had gone to sleep, Bob carefully worked to finish his unique present. But tragedy struck the May family before Christmas could arrive. Evelyn lost her battle with cancer. Though the last few pages of his gift book were stained with tears, Bob would not give up on Rudolph. He knew that his daughter needed the uplifting story now more than ever. He prayed for the strength to finish the project. His efforts were rewarded when a thrilled Barbara found a completed copy of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer waiting for her on Christmas morning. Though he hardly felt like celebrating, a few days later, Bob was forced to attend Montgomery Ward's employee party. His co-workers in the ad department asked May to share his children's story that night. Though he didn't feel like it, he took his book and, at the appointed moment, climbed before the crowd and read the story. After the scores of holiday revelers laughed, they stood and gave May and his children's tale a thunderous ovation. They all loved Rudolph and wanted copies of their own. The head of the company felt that Ward's could benefit from Bob's gift to his daughter. For a modest sum, Stewell Avery, the chairman of the board of Montgomery Ward's, bought all rights from the cash-strapped and debt-ridden May. Avery then had tens of thousands of copies of Rudolph printed and shipped to Ward stores across the nation in time for Christmas 1939. The response was so positive that for the next 6 years, each child who visited a Santa in a company store got a copy of May's book. By 1946, Ward's had given away 6 million copies of Rudolph, and Stewell Avery was being besieged by offers from every major publishing house wanting to print a new version of the story. In one of the most generous decisions ever made by the head of a large company, the CEO gave all rights back to Bob May. A year later, the mass market release of the book made the Ward's copywriter a rich man. With the book a bestseller, numerous toy and product deals were soon cut, and May's entire life revolved around a story he had told to comfort a worried daughter. Remarried, and with a growing family, Bob couldn't imagine anything else that could improve his wonderful life. Then his brother-in-law, Johnny Marks, decided to adapt the story into a song. Marks, who had written music for a number of major recording stars, hoped that the voice of Christmas, Bing Crosby, would record the song Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. When Crosby passed, Marks offered the song to Dinah Shore. She wasn't interested either. Other artists were given the demo, but none of them wanted it. Finally, cowboy star Gene Autry was approached. Marks figured that Autry might be looking for a follow-up to his earlier Christmas hit, Here Comes Santa Claus. Besides, Gene, unlike Bing and Dinah, often sang kids' songs. Children were his main audience. Like Crosby, Shore, and the other artists, Autry was unimpressed. He had already discovered a song he felt would become a seasonal children's classic in If It Doesn't Snow This Christmas. There was no doubt that the favored title was a great song and a perfect children's single. But Marks begged Gene to give Rudolph a second listen. The writer figured that Autry might find a place for the misunderstood reindeer on the B side of the record. Gene took Marks's demo home and played it for his wife, Ina. As they listened, Autry scoffed that there were already too many songs about reindeer. Ina thought differently. When she heard the line,